Hello everyone and welcome to a tutorial series on Distant Worlds Universe. I had done a little bit of a tutorial series before, but I had learned a little bit more that there was to learn on Distant Worlds Universe. Plus I have fixed my audio so I may be able to do a little bit better here. You guys will be able to hear me better, hear the game a little bit less, and we're going to get started. The first thing that I would recommend that you start doing is go through the tutorials here. In the tutorials, it'll show you how to find your way around. It'll talk about your empires, your colonies, your ships, the pirates, how to research. It'll talk about every basic in the game that you need to know to play. This is a vast 4X game, and it is a game that you need to know a little bit more about before you just jump right in. Now you can start a new game here, and what I'd recommend is that you start with an introductory game. It jumps straight into an easy game in the classic era with abundant resources and a few pirates. What I'm going to do, because I don't like the introductory game per se, because it starts a little bit later than I would like in the technology field, is I do a custom game as a standard empire, and you can actually do this as a learning game as well, because that's what I'm using this one as. So there are different types of galaxies that you can have in Distant Worlds Universe. You can have an elliptical, spiral, a ring, an irregular, even clusters, and varied clusters. Now what these do is it basically changes the star layout of the galaxy that you have and all the different stars that you can go into. This game is very, very vast. There are stars, and with every star there are planets and there are asteroids and there are all sorts of things that you can explore within these stars. So it ends up being a really vast game. For the easiness of it, I like either the elliptical or the even clusters. We're going to go ahead and do an even clusters in this one. Now the star amount is how many stars there are in your galaxy. The largest amount that you can put it to is 1400 stars. I like that because I like how vast it feels. It feels vast, but it doesn't feel empty. And the physical size is the size of the map itself. So it'll have all those stars, but it'll have it in a different type of sector. So you can have it down to 4x4 sector, but then you'll only have 400 stars. So if you put it by a 10x10 sector, you can have 1400 stars, and 15x15 sector is still 1400 stars, but it's not as densely packed. I think that this is a good balance between a packed universe and one that is large enough. So expansion. What expansion is it basically is the expansion of your empire. Pre-warp means you have a single planet, and you do not know quite yet how to go about to different stars yet. Starting means that you're able to have a bigger colony and you can go and warp to other galaxies. For the simplicity of the game, I'm going to do pre-warp so we can build everything from scratch and you can see how it goes. Now aggression, it goes from peaceful to chaos. Aggression is how aggressive the AI is going to be against you. Pretty self-explanatory. I want to use it on normal just because I like the normal aggression, I like the normal easy playstyle. Difficulty we're going to put on easy because this is a very starting game that we're going to be starting and learning together. I don't want anything to jump out that we might not be able to take care of. Now, I would usually play on normal, but for this particular Let's Learn, I'm going to do easy for the tutorial. For the research costs, I'm going to put that on normal as well. Research is a very big point in this game as well. Research allows you to do kind of like the Civilization games. It allows you to build more units, it allows you to define those units, and it goes very far and deep into things. I'm going to put it on normal because I like the way that the game has set it up. You can put it on expensive, very expensive, cheap, or very cheap, and it varies in the game. Now space creatures we're going to put on normal as well. You can have as many space creatures as you want. Space creatures are creatures that will attack your planets and such like that. They are creatures that are in space, like space slugs and giant space lobster looking things that come at you. We'll put that on normal as well. Pirates. Now pirates are two different things I like to do. I either like to put it on normal or few. The reason being is because there are a lot of pirates in this game, and the pirates can actually have a huge impact on your beginning game whether or not you succeed. We're going to leave this on normal, but we're going to put the pirate strength to weak so that they're not as strong as they usually are, because they usually start off with a lot more technologies than you do, and this will make it so they're a little less prone to annihilating your colony before you even have a chance to start. And we're going to go to colonization and territory. In this, we have the colony prevalence. This is how the number of colonizational planets and moons in the galaxy. I like to put that on plentiful because I like to think that we can colonize many planets in the galaxy. People will put normal or occasional, but that means that you have to build space stations out there that don't have planets or moons that are colonizable out there, so you can't really expand your colony. I like the idea that there are many planets out there that we can colonize, many planets out there that you can go out of your way and make your own. I kind of like that part of the game, so I put that on plentiful just because it ties in well with what I expect to see out of the game. You can put it on normal. In fact, a lot of people would recommend it, but I put it on plentiful for this. Now, independent alien life. What independent alien life means is that the aliens that aren't owned by anybody, how plentiful they will be. We're going to put normal, and then the colony influence range is the influence range of, controls the size of influence circles that are projected out from your colonies. So basically how far you can be with your colony. So suggested range for a 100-star galaxy of the size of 10 by 10 sectors is 200. I'm going to go back because I didn't think that we did 100. No, we did 1400 10 by 10. So 1400 10 by 10 is 71. I'm going to leave that at 100 actually, because what this means is the influence of your colony will determine whether or not you can build on different stars, and if you can get the influence of your colony out to a different star, then nobody else can have building rights on it. So this is a circle around your colony, and if it hits any other stars, then those stars are considered within your colony as well, and if they go to settle within that area, it will be considered declaring war. I'm going to leave it at 100%. Now the colonization range is how far away from your colony you can colonize another planet. 2.5 sectors is the maximum that is at right now. I'm actually going to keep it at 2.5. Sometimes I have turned this off before. It makes a fun game, but a little bit different. So we'll go to next year race. This is for simplicity's sake, so I'm going to leave it at that. So these are the races that are in the game. I'm going to start with the very first race just to give you a little bit of a hint as to how the races work. These are the portraits of all the races in the game. As you can see, there are quite a few. They're all abundant. They're all different in the way that they look. It's a lot of fun. So these guys are amphibian. They like the ocean for their native planet type, and their default reproduction rate is 19%. What that means is that's how fast the planet will actually grow. If you have a quick number on there, then it'll grow a lot more. 19% is not very much. I know a lot of the insects, okay, like this is growth rate 30%. So if you see 19% is not very well. Characteristics, very passive, very cautious, quite friendly, quite intelligent, and very dependable. These characteristics, these two right here, the quite intelligent and very dependable, are very important because they will tell us, how intelligent we will be as a race and whether or not people will trust us. The rest of the characteristics matter mostly if this was going to be an AI controlled player. The bonuses is gifted scientists, faster research by 10%, and master engineers, ship maintenance is minus 20%. This will help with our gold and our coin, and the gifted scientists will help us research faster, which will give us ahead of the game. Now the research bonuses, if you have the wine, you have +5 happiness bonus for all colonies. Now in this game, they actually do have different types of resources. They have resource bonus is what that says, my apologies. They have different types of resources. They have resources that you can build with, and they also have resources like luxury resources, like the Civ games. There are an abundance of resources in this game as well. So if we control the Nephis wine, the Eucantium Pearl or Steel, we actually get a couple of bonuses for that for our race. Now the race victory conditions is the only victory condition that I have turned on. The reason being is because I like to play the game as the race is supposed to play it. So in order for us to win the game, we have to have 33% of all ocean colonies in the galaxy. We have to control the 3 largest ocean colonies in the galaxy, and we have to own the largest capital ship in the galaxy. We can do that for sure. The colonies, the different kinds of colonies that we have, a desert planet colonization research plus 50% of normal cost, and volcanic planet colonization research plus 50% of normal cost. Because we're an ocean type, it'll take us a long time to learn how to get to a desert or volcanic planet. Now, more likely to generate a new colony governor character is plus 30%. I'll talk to you about characters in another tutorial that we do a little bit later, as characters is a vast part of this game as well. The others is we have special technology, a turbo thruster, which is a main thrust engine. That'll help us move a little bit quicker than most people, and it's pretty far, not far out, but like far in to the research. So we don't need to research a lot to get to it, so it helps quite a bit. There's no disallowed technologies. We also have larger military ship sizes and faster construction speed by 60%. So this race actually has a lot of good qualities to have. I like these guys, and the portrait's pretty badass themselves. So let's go to our empire here. Now here you can change your empire name. I want to do this, let's play. And the main colors, you have different colors, you have different symbols that you can have. Depending on if I want to be aggressive or not, I change the colors and I change our flag based on that. I want to be a colonization colony that colonizes a lot of planets, so maybe something like this, where it looks like it's going out to a lot of different planets from one planet and it's a compass as well. I like that, and I also like this color scheme here. Now, the galaxy starting location, you can say whether you want to be in the center or the edge or random. On other ones, you can say whether you want to be in the outer ring, the inner ring, the spiral. So it just depends on how you set your colony up, where your galaxy up, but you can change where you go in your galaxy. I'm going to put it on random. I like it like that. Now, the home system, I put that on normal. I put it on excellent sometimes when I want a really good game, but it's the favorability of your home system. This includes factors like resource abundance, population level of your home colony, and the presence of other favorable planets in the system. The size is starting. It'll start us off with one planet, and the tech level is pre-warp. I don't like to start off with warp because that gets really complicated really quickly. And then the corruption type is normal. I just leave that on normal because I love normal difficulty. Now, your government type, you can either choose random or you can choose one yourself. What the government type does is it has different bonuses and it has different negative things. Like despotism has research speed of minus 25%. I want a high research speed, so I'm going to do something like republic, which is plus 25%, colony income plus 5%, maintenance costs go up a little bit, war wariness goes up quite a bit, but we do have a more colony income as well, and corruption minus 15%. So I'm going to keep it like this. Next, you choose your other empires. I want to say that they auto-generate the starting empires. You can unclick that, and what you'd be able to do is you'd be able to choose all of the different empires that are going to be in your game. And I'm also going to allow the independent alien colonies to start new empires during the game. What that means is that if there's an independent alien colony and they end up getting big enough, they can start their own empire and they can start having ships in the game as well. So this makes it so the map in the game is always changing. I like that a lot. If we go to the victory conditions, you can actually set your own victory conditions. You can also set it so if you unbox all of these, you don't have any victory conditions and it's just a sandbox mode. So I'm going to enable the race-specific victory conditions, and that we're going to have to reach 100% of those space-specific victory conditions to win the game. This will make it so it's a little bit of a longer game, and I hope that that'll help with the tutorial. That'll help us teach everything that there needs to be taught. And I went ahead and left all of this to be very the same that it is always. Now, victory conditions after 20 years and time limit. Game finishes after 30 years. I don't like to have a time limit on the game because however long it takes is however long it takes. And let's go ahead and start the game. It does take a while to create the new galaxy, and sometimes it depends on whether or not I want to pause the video, but for this instance I'm going to keep it going and just talk a little bit about Distant Worlds Universe. Distant Worlds Universe is a game that I think should get a lot more credit than it does. I find it to be better than the Civilization games, and I really like the Endless series, so Endless Space, Endless Legends, Dungeon of the Endless. I find this to be on par with those. It's a very vast game. It's hard to get into because there are so many things that you can learn and so many menus to go into, but once you get started with the game, it is so much fun to get started, and you can create your own ships, you can create your own colonies, you can customize every ship and build it from scratch, which I find to be fantastic and fascinating. You can also create starports, you can go into different galaxies, you can do diplomacy. There are a lot of different ways to play the game and a lot of different ways to win. and I like that quite a bit. So the game has loaded. We are the ruler of the Actarians, your style of government is republic, and your empire has one colony in one system. Now the victory condition targets is to achieve 100% of the following: the Actarian race-specific conditions. You are a standard empire in the Age of Shadows. Pirates, smugglers, and mercenaries rule the galaxy. Your empire is largely undeveloped with no space technology. Before you can take to the stars, you must first research critical technology like hyperdrives and colonization. Meanwhile, pirates and others retain these key technologies and thus dominate galactic affairs. As a fledgling stellar empire, you must develop the technologies you need while manipulating pirates and smugglers to work for you. And it kind of tells you a little bit of what you should do when you start the game. Now, this is where I'm going to stop this first episode, and I hope that you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you guys keep watching. Thank you so much for joining me, and have a wonderful day.